Oh man, this is the type of story I hate more than almost any other one we can report. Charlie Kirk, Trump's ally, a well known conservative, was shot during an event in Utah today. Apparently, while he was sitting down, someone shot him in the neck, and currently he's in critical condition. They closed down that whole campus. Um, there's a video of it. That's what I've been told. That's what people have been talking about. I haven't been able to find it. I don't really think I want to see it. This is, I remember when Trump was shot last year, and I made the point of like, there were people online that were celebrating, and it just really disgusted me. The United States has a gun problem, right? I believe it's 390 million firearms, more guns than people in the U.S. And all it takes for someone to get shot is either being in the wrong place at the wrong time or you being a well enough person that is controversial for someone to decide to act out in this manner. And I have no love for Kirk. I think he is a hateful, bigoted idiot. But in spite of having that opinion, and it's a view I don't waver from, I don't support the people I disagree with getting blasted when they go and talk at public events. And remember, we're only a year removed from Trump's shooting. Um, and as bad as that was, at least when people go after politicians, there's like this perspective of, oh, well, if I strike them down, it'll change the laws. Or, that's it's really dim-witted anyway to shoot political opponents. But still, at least with that, there's like a specific position that person has, whether it's a president, senator, congressman, whatever. With Kirk, you're talking about people getting shot simply over disagreements. Someone who just espouses, like, I know Turning Points USA is a major organization, but it still is not, actually affecting laws in terms of, being able to pass anything. So are we getting to a point now where if you're a well-known enough person in the US in the political realm, again, whether you're a politician or even just a commentator, like me, you're going to have to, wear a have a security detail following you at all times or put on some bulletproof vest. This is really scary and crazy. The US has such a gun problem. And the sad part is that the people who are not going to try and get it changed are now starting to be on the receiving end of all of the carnage associated with these damn weapons. Remember the baseball shooting from, was that 8 years ago with Scalise? It's like these people support this lack of, protections and laws. And then when it comes back on them, they don't, there's just, and I don't even like bringing it up because I'm not trying to say this is what you get, but there needs to be something done about the level of access of these guns. Like, how insane is it that you live in a supposed, and I call it a rotten society for this very reason, a supposed society of laws, right? People are expected to look a certain way and act a certain way. And while you're giving a public appearance at some college, right? One of the institutions that's supposed to encourage diversity of thought and experimentation, you get blasted. So like I said, last time I heard anything, he was in critical condition. I hope he survives. And it's like, if he doesn't, because I understand he has a wife and two kids. So like his wife and will be a widow, and their kids will lose their father because someone didn't agree with him politically. And again, we don't have confirmation this was it's pretty obvious it was, but what does getting rid of Charlie do? There's 15 a whole bunch of other different organizations and people that are espousing the exact same beliefs. So what does specifically ridding yourself of him do to change that perspective? Like I said, the United States can be a really scary place. We all have these like ideas of, oh man, you go in one of these bad neighborhoods. when you can get invited to an event and just be talking, and then someone, like, the fact that we even have to have, security. Oh man, what awful thing is going on to where these people need guards and uh, scanners? Are they selling drugs, or is there some procurement of millions of dollars occurring in this room or this arena? Oh no, they're just having some influencer guy talking, and we just want to make sure no one insane comes in here and tries to shoot him. And I mentioned that when I went to two of Bernie's events back when he was running for president the second time, I had to get scanned down with a little device they have to check for weapons. And it's really disturbing that you go to a college campus or to any of these supposed settings of higher intellect, and people act like monsters. So if you're a commentator and you're big enough, just know that there is someone online or even in person that will be crazy enough to try striking you down. It is there has always been political violence in the US, but it's really rare to see it happen with commentators, like with people that just talk about this stuff. And that's why I said I think all of the worst aspects of society, whether it be the cost of living, whether it be again the violence, what regardless of if it's with a weapon or like a gun or a knife, whatever, all of the worst aspects of society are increasing. The people are getting more deranged, unhinged, unwilling to accept different opinions. Like, I think about it, it's for me, I can't remember the last time I turned on anything Kirk was in willingly. I usually will only hear about what he said if some channel I was watching covered it, or they talked about him, or someone I like on some website posts a response to what he said recently. But there are some people who, instead of just disconnecting from the view that makes them so sick to their stomach, they would rather track the person down or take advantage of them being local and then try to do this. Like I said, I'm not trying to promote my own stuff here, but I called it a rotten society for the among other reasons, but one of them was for this reason, where people are so deranged that they will shoot someone they've never met before, just over a disagreement, over the fact that they can do it. It's scary. And I hope that he is able to survive. Every person that believes in the supposed American way of democracy, and again, these different ideals of like actually allowing people to debate and have disagreements, they should hope that he doesn't get killed over having some position that someone doesn't like.